All right, guys, I am checking my audio real quick. Once again, trying this a third time here. All right, I am live. My name is pt.2, coming back for you guys here, getting into the Toronto Huskies franchise once again. It's been a minute, sorta, kinda not, but I just recorded yesterday, but obviously it didn't quite go the way that we had hoped for it to go because there was no game that I played yesterday, and I just double checked my audio. It sounds all right on my side, so hopefully it sounds okay for you guys. If it doesn't, let me know. But anyways, what's interesting to me is that I started this whole thing up again yesterday, and then I realized I didn't have enough space. I guess like the save files wouldn't allow me to. For some reason I had more space on my PS4 than I do on my PS5. It's weird. I don't know what there was something going on with the PS4 versus the PS5 where I was allowed to record on the PS4 with no problem, the same amount of things on the PS5, and it wouldn't let me record. So it was very weird. So I had to go through and delete a ton of stuff, unfortunately. But at the same time, it's probably good. Clean up things a little bit, you know. But now that means that I tested this out and it just worked a few minutes ago. So hopefully today, right here and now, we will get you your Week 5 game against the Houston Texans. Your Toronto Huskies hopefully coming out here and showing off a win for the first one on the season. Obviously, I showcased the team a little bit, told you guys what we were expecting moving forward and how we got to this point for those of you that might be new. We just did that in the last episode, and I didn't get to play a game, so it was about a 25-30 minute live episode yesterday with no game. However, this time I'm going to get you guys a game here, and let's just jump right into it. We don't really have to talk about anything else. We talked about everything yesterday, so if you need to get caught up, go check that video out. But for right now, it's time to jump into this thing. That's right, we are traveling. Not too far, though. We're going to the Den here in Toronto. We are hosting the Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt, and company are coming to town, and they are looking to take us down. And the Toronto Huskies are looking to get a little bit of revenge because the last time that the Toronto Huskies played, or last two times that they played the Texans, they were two heartbreaking defeats at the hands of the Texans last season, and hopefully this time the tides have turned. But starting this thing off, we have your Toronto Huskies at the Den, as I mentioned before, with the Houston Texans coming to town. They got the stadium opened up for you guys today, and those aren't your commentators. I'm your commentator. My name is TayVikes28, and we are once again bringing you some Husky football, and hopefully bringing you a Husky win today. But the Toronto team, they look poised and ready to go. And here come your Toronto Huskies coming out, led by, that's right, the rookie quarterback, Trevor Nickerson. I am very excited to see what he can do. Number 12 himself, better than the number 12 from Green Bay, if you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, let's get into this thing. Let's see what we can, what ends up happening, because to be quite honest, I think that this could be the first actual win this season. I really do believe that. I think that this could be the first win of the season for Toronto. Get things started off with a comeback correctly, with hopefully a comeback of our own. I would prefer no comeback at all and we just beat them outright, but all right, let's see. Let's take a look at Trevor Nickerson. As you see, his stats aren't mind-boggling. In fact, they look pretty bad in terms of touchdown-to-interception ratio. 3 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, but he actually hasn't played bad this season. The interceptions just look high due to some plays that were not his fault. You know, tipped balls, the defenders intercepted, just different things like that. And we're going to start this thing off going up the middle with Aaron Jones, the new running back who came into town. As you see last week, in week number 4, against the Titans, he only had about 62 yards on the ground, not crazy numbers, but here on the first play of the game, he gets a 7-yard carry right up the middle. Heart of this defense not doing their job right now. And Nickerson's going to drop back on 2nd and 3 and find a man quickly over the middle, and that is going to be the tight end, I believe. That is Jonnu Smith, the new tight end who we signed on a 1-year prove-it deal, and hopefully he does in fact prove it, because I'd like to give him a contract. And here we go, run up the middle again, but this time it gets swallowed up, maybe a 1-yard gain, and we're going to take a look at this offense. Very young team, young offensive line especially, and we have a couple of veterans. Aaron Jones, you have Latavius Murray as that second back who, kind of fills in as a fullback when needed, just different things like that. And so now we have Trevor Nickerson again handing it off, and a nice little move there, and another broken tackle getting outside. That is Aaron Jones making some people miss and getting a first down for Toronto, and all of a sudden they are in Houston territory looking hungry. Nice little move there in the backfield. That could have been a tackle for a loss, but instead he makes a man miss, breaks another tackle, and gets downfield, and that's the type of stuff that we didn't have from our running game last year. It's nice to see Toronto being able to do that this season. So now here at the 42-yard line, it is 1st and 10 with about 9 minutes to go in the first. And Nickerson takes this one and hands it off to Aaron Jones. Once again, fighting through the middle. They're only getting about 1 yard, though, on this carry. And as you well know, J.J. Watt leads this Texans defense. And they run a 3-4, so you're going to see a handful of linebackers out there. And in the secondary, they don't have any great players in the secondary, no studs necessarily. I think Justin Reed's their best player in the secondary, in my personal opinion, and even he isn't crazy. So another handoff here up the middle. Breaking tackles again is Aaron Jones as he stumbles forward for about a gain of 3 or so. So it is 3rd and 6 at the 38-yard line. They're going to need to get a couple more yards if they want to get any points out of this. And it's going to be a dump off over the middle. Aaron Jones catches this, gets about 3 or 4 yards here, making it 4th and 3 at the 35. Fully expecting Josh Lambo and the field goal unit to come out here, but you never know. Maybe they get aggressive here. Let's see. And I'm liking Trevor Nickerson's decisions so far. He only threw the ball about twice on that drive. However, he made smart decisions there. He didn't force the ball downfield there. He took what the defense gave him, knowing full well that he only needed a couple of yards to secure that extra 3 points. And the first score in this game, making it 3-0 Toronto. Really good stuff here from Toronto's offense. I would have liked to see this drive culminate in a touchdown instead of a field goal, but hey, points are points at this rate. So Houston now with a return here from about the 2-yard line, and it's going to get bounced outside, getting out to almost the 25, maybe 24-yard line. And what that means is that this Deshaun Watson-led team, as you see, Deshaun Watson started off the season pretty well here for Houston, and right now he's got a 2-to-1 touchdown-interception ratio, and I'm wondering if we can either knock that down, because our defense has played quite well so far this season. And let's see here, Deshaun Watson's in the gun to start this thing off, 3 receivers. And he's going to hand it off, though, up the middle, and this is going nowhere as that gets gobbled up for about a 2-yard gain. And I believe that was Duke Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. As you see here, they don't have a crazy offensive line. They do have A.J. Dillon, though, young player there in the backfield for them. I'm not sure if he is their starter. He might be their second back, but still, as you hear, another handoff up the middle here, and that gets stuffed again. As we take a look at our defense, we got a couple of veterans like Ryan Kerrigan, but Floyd Ellis is the star of this defense in the middle up front. And then, obviously, our young rookie, Darius Evans, we would love to see some more out of him. And so far, he has been fairly quiet. I'd like to see what he can do, though. I think he could be a real star moving forward for this Toronto team. But now we have Deshaun Watson dropping back and looking over the left-hand side and just able to make that catch is, I believe, Will Fuller. And that's going to be a first down. Trying to come up there and make a play was, I believe, big play Slay, as he tried to get in there and just was a tiny bit too late there, allowing the catch to be made. But the fact that he was all over that to begin with, at least making it difficult for Will Fuller to make that catch. So now it is 1st and 10 at the 38, and it's going to be a quick pass outside and making a man miss, and that is, I believe, Will Fuller again with a reception here. Last time he had 4 for 59 and a touchdown last week, and right now it's looking like he might be their #1 guy who they target in this game. So we're going to make sure we shut him down, whether that be traveling with Marshawn Lattimore or whether that be a duo with Big Play Slay, who was on him earlier, and this time they handed off to him and getting grabbed in the backfield. What a play there, grabbing him while he was on a block. I believe that was Quincy Williams. It was. Very nice play there by Quincy Williams. He was engaged in a block and still came through and grabbed him. That was some good stuff. Actually, no, that was a Darius Evans. I take that back. Was that? Maybe that was Quincy Williams. I read that wrong. It was Quincy Williams. Still, really nice play there. And now it's 3rd and 9, and putting some pressure on Deshaun Watson here. I expect him to throw the ball, and they do drop back and moving around the pocket. Some pressure on him, and that goes out of bounds as Deshaun Watson was just about to get nailed there as a free blitzer comes in. And nice play from Toronto, and all of a sudden, they are forcing Houston to punt the football away. Ooh, that's a little worrisome there. They could have called some PI possibly on the rookie safety there, Jaquil Easter, as he got some hands on the receiver there, but I don't know, maybe the refs just, I promise we didn't pay the refs. Maybe the refs just didn't see that one. And a big booming punt here from Houston as that goes through the end zone, setting up a touchback, making it 1st and 10 at the 20 with about 4.5 to go in the first quarter. And Nickerson and company, they come back out on the football field feeling pretty good. They just got some points on the board the last drive. Their defense made a stand, and all of a sudden they have an opportunity to put a 2-score lead up at the beginning of this football game. So they're in the eye, though, and they're going to hand this off right up the middle and making people miss. Oh my goodness, what a run, getting out to the 35-yard line. That is Aaron Jones, 12 yards after contact on that one. He got touched almost immediately, but he was able to slip right through that and just keep, it was like butter, okay? Like a hot knife right through butter, just going right up in the middle of it. Nice stuff there from Aaron Jones, and look at that nice move making the man miss as well. That's what I like to see, being able to break tackles. As you see, Deshaun Watson's not happy on the sideline after he was unable to make that throw there on that last 3rd down. And this time it's another handoff, and getting some more room this time to the left-hand side is Aaron Jones. Only about 3 yards, though, and that's going to actually set up a 2nd and 8, so it's about 2.5 yards. So we got 3 receivers to the right-hand side. Nickerson in the gun. He's going to drop back and throw this one. Quick throw over to the left-hand side, though, with a single receiver, and that is going to be complete for a 1st down. So now a bunch set to the right-hand side, and Nickerson trying to get them to jump off sides, unable to do so, and once again finds a man over the middle, a little bit on the left-hand side there, but quick find, and he's 4 for 4 to start this game. That's what we like to see, and they're spreading it out wide. 4 receivers set here on 2nd and 5, and they're instead, though, going for the run up the middle, and it looks like a face mask there, and it is. So that's going to be some more free yardage for Toronto, and they're going to get this ball all the way up at the 29-yard line, well in field goal range at this point. So now it is 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line, and the ball is in Toronto's court. It is all up to what they are able to do on this drive. It could be a very good start for Toronto if they can get into the end zone. Another bunch set here on the right-hand side, and Nickerson drops back, and he's going to quickly throw into the flat there and finding his open man and getting about 6 yards. Good start there. That's going to be Jonnu Smith, the tight end, in the flat there, getting about 6 yards, making it 2nd and 4 now with Nickerson alone in the backfield, and he's going to get sacked. Wow, I thought he was going to get away, but no, that is J.J. Watt coming in and making his mark on this game already. As you see here, it is 3rd and 11, and you see J.J. Watt, he is double teamed, and it doesn't even matter as he just bullies the offensive line right now. It's not what we like to see from the standout rookie of last season, so now 2nd-year player at the right guard position. And so now it is 3rd and 11. Nickerson dropping back, moving around in the pocket, throws to the left-hand side, and he got a man, and that's a first down. And I believe that is T. Higgins. That's right, first catch for T. Higgins on the day, 14 yards and a first down. As I believe that was Antoine Winfield Jr. coming up and making the tackle. So a couple of young guys out there, and this time our young guy gets the better of theirs. So all of a sudden it is 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line, and now we've got a couple of options here for this Toronto team. And they're going to go with a quick pass outside, and that one did not work. That was dangerous. That could have been picked off there, but instead it is CeeDee Lamb making the catch, but actually losing a yard on that play. Nice play there by Justin Reed, safety coming up and making the tackle. He read that perfectly, and unfortunately for us, it was not much for CeeDee Lamb to do there other than just to secure the ball. So now it is 2nd and 11, and they're going and spreading this thing out here. 3 receivers, and they're going to drop that back, and Nickerson under pressure, and he gets that ball off, but gets walloped as he does. That's the first incompletion on the day, and in my opinion, a good incompletion to throw there. So 4 receivers set now on 3rd and 11, and dropping back again, under pressure again, and this time Nickerson goes down, and that's going to be a sack for... I didn't catch the name there, but this is going to be 4th and 16 now, and all of a sudden another field goal is the most likely course of action here for this Toronto team. So they're going to have a lead pending the field goal here of 6-0, which is a pretty good start, but I would have loved to see a touchdown out of one of these drives. And that's actually going to wrap up this first quarter as Josh Lambo and company are going to come back off the field, and they're going to kind of wait and see what happens here. But I'm not going to complain because we are, coming out to a lead, and Nickerson is playing well. Only 1 incompletion on the day, and it was a throwaway, which we like to see. So I'm not going to complain, but I just want to make sure that we don't take too many field goals. That's what I worry about, because in the NFL nowadays, you can't be taking field goals left and right. All right, occasionally is all right, but if you can't finish drives, no one likes a person who can't finish. All right, it doesn't matter what. Get your mind out of the gutter, guys. Doesn't matter what we're talking about. Football games, whatever you want to account it to. But now it is 10:57 left in just beginning, essentially. This is the second quarter here, and it's going to be a touchback for Houston. So now starting this off at the 25-yard line, and you saw Deshaun Watson previously a little upset on the sideline. He was angry with himself. So now hopefully he got a massage, and Anyways, we like to have some fun over here, but now it is once again a run up the middle. This is going to be a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8 now, and Watson again fakes the handoff, and instead he goes and runs for it and fumbles the ball, and look at this play. Oh my goodness. That is Ryan Kerrigan, the veteran, pouncing on that. What a play there. As Deshaun Watson, he goes to hand the football off, but instead fakes it and takes it himself and fumbles. And look at Ryan Kerrigan just breaking tackles, the wily veteran. I didn't see who forced that. That is a Darius Evans on the forced fumble. We just talked about him, and we wanted to see some more out of him, and he's like, I hear you. And he comes out here and showcases what he can do. Big hit there, and all of a sudden, big change of momentum. Toronto now is set up in field goal range, and they're going to go ahead and do a quick handoff here, but it has nowhere to go. Losing 2 yards, actually. 3 yards, in fact. So now it is 2nd and 13, putting them behind the chains here, unfortunately, but I still think that the Toronto has the momentum here. Good play from the Houston defender there to get through that offensive line and locate Aaron Jones pretty quickly. So they have a bunch set on that left-hand side, and Nickerson moving around in the pocket, and that's going to be an interception. No. Oh, my goodness. That is unfortunate. Trevor Nickerson picked off and return to the 31-yard line. And Nickerson's going to be leaving the field a little dejected there. As you see, I saw what he was looking at, but that was a rookie mistake, is what that was. And as you see, coming on the inside, there was Jonnu Smith, and it was not a very good play there. He was open for a split second, but a veteran would have realized what type of coverage that this Houston team was in, but instead, unable to do that, and he makes another rookie mistake here. So Deshaun Watson gets another opportunity as he drops back all the time in the world, and that one gets tipped and almost intercepted, and just like that would have been quite a change of momentum again. But luckily for Watson, he was able to... And another fumble! Oh my goodness, Toronto! Another fumble. This time it is a Darius Evans with the fumble recovery. All right, as Toronto comes out and they are meaning business. As you see, I believe that was Duke Johnson with the carry up the middle, and he just gets lit up. And you see, I don't even know if he knows where he is anymore. And was that a Darius Evans with the fumble or forced fumble too? I think he might have forced that and recovered it. Wow. Darius Evans is like, I have arrived. Okay, he is showing why he was drafted so high. So now it is once again in field goal range is Toronto, and they're trying to run this outside, getting a couple of yards there, unable to break that one though. So now it's going to be 2nd and 9 with about 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. And they're spreading it out wide. They're giving Nickerson another opportunity. He finds a man outside. That's right, T. Higgins again. They're they're really meshing together pretty well. As you see there, Nickerson just passed 1,000 yards on the season with that pass. But I would like to see some other receivers get involved as well, because right now it has essentially been T. Higgins or CeeDee Lamb, and there really hasn't been a third option for this passing offense. Jonnu Smith, obviously, but I'd like to see a third receiver kind of, showcase what they can do here. And this is going to be a run up the middle, and what a hit on Aaron Jones. The difference, though, between him and the Houston running backs is he can hold on to the football. So now it is 2nd and 8 at the 11-yard line. Nickerson drops back. He's moving around. Oh my goodness, what a play there. He just moves right into that sack. He runs into Ziggy Ansah, the former Lion, and he just gets slaughtered there. The tackle was struggling there, and he tried to roll out, but instead of rolling out, the rookie left tackle essentially pushed Ziggy Ansah right into Trevor Nickerson's lap. So now it is 3rd and 15 here at the 18-yard line. This is going to be a throw, and it's going to be Nickerson dropping back. He's got some time, and he's going to just dump this one off. Probably a smart move there, getting a couple of yards. Aaron Jones, unfortunately, couldn't stay in bounds there. I think if he could have, there was a chance that he might have made a man miss. But instead, it's going to be another field goal. So now it is 9-0 Toronto. About 7 minutes left in this second quarter. Toronto has the momentum and the lead right now. 2-score lead finally for Toronto. And they're going to kick this one off, and it looks like it's going to be in the end zone for a touchback. And Houston again, taking over at the 25. And they have struggled today to really get past anywhere close to the 50 outside of that one drive. So let's see here if Duke Johnson can hold on to the football and Deshaun Watson can hold on to the football. They just need to protect the football if you're Houston, and I think they'll be all right. But let's see if Toronto can continue the crazy day defensively, and they're going to hand it off up the middle. They're trusting Duke Johnson this time, and this time he makes sure to hold on to the football, getting about 5 yards in that first down carry. And now in the gun is Deshaun Watson as he drops back and has all the time in the world and finds a man over the middle. And I believe that was caught. Yes, it was at the 47-yard line. And that is Yates with the reception. That's I believe a younger player there. Not too familiar, as it looks like our safety was actually in coverage there. And he, Jalen Thompson, he's been doing all right. You know, I'm curious to see how he develops on this Toronto team. So now under center is Deshaun Watson. Buddy's going to elect to throw this one into the flat, and all over that was the defender there, getting him down immediately for about a 2-yard gain. That is Vance McDonald with the reception. That is Jaquil Easter with the tackle as well. And they're going to fake a handoff here on 2nd and 8, go down the middle, and what a catch there. Man draped all over him. That is Yates again. I'm having shades of Andre Johnson out here in that Houston uniform, but it is Yates coming out and making the defense look silly right now. Look at that. Just that he's like, I'm bigger than you and I'm going to prove it. All right, as that is the rookie corner from last season. So now 2nd-year player Branch coming out there, and he was in good positioning, but just nothing he could do there. So now Houston is going to go ahead and hand this one off, and breaking tackles is Duke Johnson breaking, I believe, 2 tackles and getting a 7-yard gain out of it. And all of a sudden, Houston is rumbling. 2nd and 3 at the 26-yard line in field goal range, and they're going to hand it off again up the middle, this time getting swallowed up with about -1 or so on that carry. Really not looking too great on that one was Duke Johnson. However, it is now setting up a 3rd and 4, still very manageable for Houston, as Duke Johnson had nowhere to go. Multiple guys there right in his face as soon as he got the football, essentially. So now it is 3rd and 4 at the 27-yard line. And Deshaun Watson here, let's see what he does. He's moving around in the pocket, finds a wide open guy outside. That is again Yates with, I believe, his 3rd reception on this drive alone. That is 3 for 57 is his stat line right now. And that gets them also set up for a 1st and goal at, I believe, the 5-yard line. And look at that. Look at the power from Yates. He's a big guy, and I'm pretty impressed with what he's showcased so far today. And look at that, just making people fall over themselves. So now it's 1st and goal at the 5-yard line, and they're going to go ahead and hand this one off, but getting him in the backfield, that is A.J. Dillon, his first carry of the day with nowhere to go. Ryan Kerrigan and Quincy Williams pair up together to get him down on the ground pretty quickly there. It's nice to see this is a team effort on defense right now from this Toronto team. As you see J.J. Watt talking to his guys on the sideline here, trying to get them fired up, essentially. So now it's 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line, and Deshaun Watson in the gun right now. 2 receivers to the right-hand side, and he is going to go ahead and move over to that right-hand side, but throw in the middle, and that is intercepted, and that's going to be a kneel down, and that is Lano Hill, the safety from last season, who actually got replaced by Jalen Thompson, but still sees his way onto the football field occasionally. Lano Hill, what a play there, and he's trying to make a case for getting back in that starting lineup here with an interception in the end zone. And Deshaun Watson, he had googly eyes for Yates there, and he's trying too hard to get the football to him. So just like that, this Toronto defense in only the first half already has 3 turnovers forced. That's pretty impressive stuff there. So now Toronto has Nickerson alone in the backfield, and he's going to throw this one outside, and that is, unfortunately, Jonnu Smith stepping out of bounds. Still gets a 1st down, though, out of that. Nice play there. Good play design. As we have 3 receivers to the left-hand side here on 1st and 10, and it's going to be a throw to the right-hand side, though, and finding an open receiver down the right-hand side again. That time it is Keontae Bonds, excuse me. I thought it was Jonnu Smith. Keontae Bonds, though, with the reception. The standout rookie receiver from last season makes his first catch of the day, and it's going and pretty much beat his man right off the get-go. And good notice there by Trevor Nickerson to realize what was happening there on the outside and get the football to him pretty quickly. So now under center is Nickerson with Aaron Jones in the backfield, and he's going to hand the football off to him, and he gets stuffed. Absolutely stuffed, losing a yard, in fact. And that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning here. And if Toronto can get some more points on the board, that would really give them a commanding lead here. So now in the gun this time, and this is Nickerson dropping back and getting pressured again up the middle. That is J.J. Watt. And he's got 2 sacks on the day, and he's saying he's just starting. And once again, splitting that double team as he was able to just essentially go right between those two and get to Nickerson, who didn't even see it coming. The quickness of J.J. Watt to get through and get to the quarterback all within a split second is pretty impressive there. So now it is 3rd and 18 at the 49-yard line. And Nickerson is dropping back, quick drop here, and he has all the time in the world, though. And he's looking to the left-hand side, and that one is intercepted. And stepping out at the 19, that is Bradley Roby, as he was essentially just throwing that one deep, trying to make something happen. It was one-on-one, but I don't think the receiver realized that the football was coming his way. And, of course, the defender was all over that. And we'll call that a throwing punt. All right, it's not the worst thing that could have happened. So all of a sudden, though, Deshaun Watson, who is 6 for 9 with only 74 yards and an interception on the day, he's coming out trying to make something happen here before halftime. Minute 30 to go at the 19-yard line. And he's going to drop back and try and set up a screen here on the right-hand side, and read perfectly, as that is actually a loss there. I believe that is Luke Wilson. Yes, Luke Wilson coming through and essentially splits the blockers and gets in there and makes that play for a loss there on Duke Johnson. That's pretty good play recognition from Wilson. So now it is 2nd and 11 with about 1:05 to go here, and Deshaun Watson moving in the pocket finds a man right at the first down marker, and they're going to take a timeout here. They do have 3 timeouts, now 2. So a minute to go at the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Deshaun Watson dropping back, and he's thrown over the middle this time, and with guys on his back carrying them down the football field for about 9 yards. I believe that was Duke Johnson out of the backfield. And now Watson drops back, throws over the middle again. The middle of the field is just essentially left wide open right now by Toronto. And now pushing towards the 30-second mark as Deshaun Watson, he's getting a little pressure from that left-hand side, but not enough, as what a play there. A diving play made on the ball by Big Play Slay on the left-hand side. Nice play there, and all of a sudden, Deshaun Watson and company, they're slowing down a little bit, and I shouldn't have said that because that's a completion over the middle, and I believe the second timeout taken here. It's a 33-yard reception, and who is it? That's right, Yates again over the middle this time, right in between 4 defenders. And good ball placement from Deshaun Watson, leading the receiver down there inside, I believe that inside the 20, if I'm not mistaken, or close to it. And it looks like they're actually taking their final timeout right here, and they're going to elect to just kick the field goal with only 9 seconds to go and no timeouts. And they're just going to go ahead and get this down to a 1-score lead before halftime. Probably a smart decision there from Houston. So Dustin Hopkins kicking this one off for Houston, and this is going to be returned from about the 2 or 3 yard line, getting out to about the 26 or so, and they have 1 second on the clock. So I imagine, yep, they're just going to take a knee and head to halftime with the lead. So your Toronto Huskies are coming out right now with a 9-3 lead after the first half, and hopefully they just continue what they've been doing so far on both sides of the football, really. They've been pretty consistent. Unfortunately, haven't found the end zone, but now looking at halftime here, let's take a look around the league, see what's happening as we travel to Carolina, and Teddy Bridgewater and company are beating up on Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons, 24-7 right now, heading towards halftime. And now we're going to go up north here to Chicago, where Washington is visiting. And right now, Nathan Russell, despite throwing an interception, he does have his Bears on top 12-zip right now. And going back down south, Philly is in town, down in New Orleans, and Drew Brees and company are battling right now with these Eagles, and it's a close game, 14-13. Drew Brees, unfortunately, has his guys in second place, if you know what I mean. So now, coming out of halftime, though, not a whole lot there is affecting your Toronto Huskies, as most of those were NFC games. However, it's nice to see what's going on around the league. All right, and Houston gets the football coming out of halftime with an opportunity to take the lead if they punch this one into the end zone here. So they're going to start this thing off at the 27-yard line and going with a handoff on first down, and that is a nice run there by Duke Johnson, splitting up the right-hand side, making a man miss as well, getting out to the 46-yard line. It's a good run there by Duke Johnson, definitely his best run of the day, and just some great blocking and a bad angle there by, I believe, the safety. And look at that, just making the rookie Jaquil Easter miss right there, looking silly out there. So now it is 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. And Deshaun Watson under center, they decide why not go back to Duke Johnson. This time, though, the defense was ready, getting him in the backfield almost immediately. That's a 5-yard loss, which they almost took the handoff right there. That was Ryan Kerrigan getting in the backfield and was almost untouched until a quick little block there at the end by the tackle, but it didn't do much as Ryan Kerrigan was able to pick Duke Johnson right up off his feet. So now it is 2nd and 15 at the 41-yard line. They got a bunch set on that left-hand side, and Deshaun Watson's dropping back. He's scanning the field, looking on the left-hand side, and overthrowing his target there. As you see, Yates is a little upset. He felt like he could have made a play on that ball. But now it is 3rd and 15. 3 receivers to the left-hand side, and Deshaun Watson has all the time in the world. He goes to the right-hand side, though, jumps it off to his running back, Duke Johnson, only getting about 2 yards, though, on that reception as he steps out of bounds, unable to keep his footing inbounds there. So now what that means is, assuming they're going to go ahead and punt here, Toronto has staved off that first attempt from Houston to turn the tides. So now Brian Anger is getting set up to punt this football away, and he gets the punt off cleanly, and a pretty big punt here, booming into the back of the end zone and through the back of the end zone. And so that's going to set up a touchback here as Nickerson and company come back out onto the football field. A couple interceptions on the day for Nickerson so far, but I don't necessarily think that he's been playing poorly. In fact, I think he's actually been playing pretty well. The stat line may not show it, but I think that he has actually played quite well. So now they have him under center in the I formation here. And they are going to go with the fake to the running back and instead going deep downfield. And what a reception there. Trevor Nickerson threading the needle in there to CeeDee Lamb. That's 29 yards down the middle, right between 2 defenders there. Look at this throw. Pretty impressive stuff there. There was nowhere else he could have placed that football to get it in there to CeeDee Lamb. As you see, Bradley Roby trying to get a hand in there, but is just behind. And I believe that is actually Justin Reed who trips up CeeDee Lamb. So now all of a sudden it is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line, and they're going to go with the handoff here, and a lot of space out there. That is going to be a first down run for Aaron Jones, who's been looking pretty good today as he made a man miss in the backfield, gets up there for about 11 or 12, and all of a sudden they are in Houston territory, and this offense is rolling once again. And Omenahue right there was the man who missed on Aaron Jones in the backfield. So now it is going to be 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A couple more yards and they'll be in field goal range here. And they're going to go with a handoff again up the middle. That is, once again, shredding tackles. Aaron Jones, 9 yards, and now it's going to be 2nd and 1 at the 29-yard line in field goal range as well. So now Aaron Jones again here, this time getting a couple of yards, not as many, about 3 or 4, but that is good enough for a first down. And all of a sudden, this Toronto team is rolling right now. And they're going to once again hand it off to Aaron Jones. And this time, it is a fumble and a recovery by Houston. And it looks like Aaron Jones finally coughed the football up. And all of a sudden, Houston has another opportunity to take the lead here. As you see there, just a big hit there and a good awareness by the linemen for Houston to be able to grab that football. And Duke Johnson comes out onto the football field feeling like, I've been there, done that when it comes to fumbling the ball. So now under center is Deshaun Watson. He's going to go ahead and hand this one off to Duke Johnson, getting about 2 yards on that carry, setting up a 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line. Got 2 receivers to the left-hand side, some extra weight there on the right-hand side. There's going to be a quick pass outside, and that is going to be caught for a gain of about 4 there by Kiki QT. So now it is 3rd and 4 at the 26-yard line. And Deshaun Watson dropping back to throw, and this time over the middle, finding a wide open receiver there. And I believe that is, yes, Will Fuller with his 3rd reception on the day. Not a lot of yardage, though, only 24 yards. They've been keeping him in check. None of those deep threat or deep chances to Will Fuller yet, which I am surprised about. That is what he's known for. So now it is going to be setting up a first down at the 35-yard line. And Deshaun Watson is again under center. In the backfield is Duke Johnson, and they go ahead and hand it off to him, and making people miss and breaking tackles, getting past the 50 all the way out to the 47-yard line. Duke Johnson, 6 yards after contact. It felt like 20, though, with the way he just ran. That was some tough running, down towards the end, as he made a man miss to begin with, and he just pushes through 2 different defenders and then gets out there. And I think if he could have gotten out of that tackle a little bit sooner, he might have been gone. So now it is 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line in Toronto territory, and they're going to continue to pound the football with Duke Johnson. This time, though, getting stuffed with a gain of about 1. That is Luke Wilson coming up with the tackle. So now it is 2nd and 9, and another handoff. This time, Duke Johnson has nowhere to go, getting tackled in the backfield, making it 3rd and 10. That is Demario Davis coming up from his middle linebacker position to make the play. And they're trying to set up a screen pass here on 3rd and 10, and they're able to do it, but a nice play there. Marshawn Lattimore engaged in a block, but keeps him in front of him and allowing himself an opportunity to make that tackle. So now it's 4th and 5 after, and I don't think that was Duke Johnson. I'm not sure who that was. That might have been A.J. Dillon. But anyways, so now it's setting up a 4th and 5 here, and I don't believe that they are close enough. They're going to try it, though. That's a long field goal here. A 59-yard attempt from Houston, and they are nowhere near. So that's going to set up Toronto with great field position, almost at midfield, to start this thing out. And all of a sudden, Trevor Nickerson and company are set up finally to hopefully put this game to bed. And I think they'll be able to do that if they put this one into the end zone, which no one's been able to do that so far today from either team. So maybe we can finally get into the end zone and break that seal. So now at the 49-yard line, Nickerson in the gun. He's going to drop back and look over the middle, and that is intercepted. And that's going to be that's a pick 6. That is a pick 6. Bradley Roby, and I'm not sure who he was throwing that one to. It was either wildly overthrown or it was just a miscommunication there, and because there was nobody out there. I'm not sure who he was throwing that to. I don't know if Nickerson being a rookie, thought that, you know, someone was running a different route, or maybe someone was supposed to run a different route. But that was a massive, massive mistake there, and that's a pick 6. And all of a sudden, Houston, pending this extra point, will have the lead. As you see, Ryan Kerrigan feeling a little dejected there, and Demario Davis, the veterans on the sideline, talking to each other, and they're just a little upset. Lots of turnovers in this game, 7 combined turnovers though, and that extra point from Dustin Hopkins gives Houston a 10-9 lead. So Toronto's going to get the football back, but they're going to need some sort of points on the scoreboard here to take the lead back. And this is going to actually get returned out there, out past the 20 to the 21. And Trevor Nickerson, 12 for 16, but 3 interceptions on the day. So pretty much if he's not completing the football, then it is going to be intercepted today. That seems to be the case. So Trevor Nickerson going to go ahead and hand this one off up the middle. Nice play there by Aaron Jones, splitting that defense and getting a first down. He's got 80 yards already on the day. He might have a chance at 100 here if he can continue with this type of performance. So now 1st and 10 at the 32 in I formation again. Let's see if they go ahead and give it back to Aaron Jones, and they do, and trying to split through that defense, getting a couple. Pretty impressive stuff with not much room to work with there. He does get 3 or 4 yards, setting up a 2nd and 7 now. And under center again is Nickerson, and faking it this time to the running back, and looking around, and has all the time in the world, and a quick little throw to the outside there to Aaron Jones, but unfortunately Jones just had to toe tap that one, getting only a couple of yards. So now it is 3rd and 5. Alone in the backfield is Nickerson. He's going to throw it over the middle quickly and inaccurately. He had a man open over the middle, but this time unable to find his man. He might have a little bit of jitters after throwing that pick 6. As you see there, no one around T. Higgins, but he just misses him. So now it is 4th and 5 here, and they're going to go ahead and punt this football away. And this is going to be a booming punt. And the question is, what a play there. Wow, that is impressive. Toronto with a great punt and even better punt coverage. And look at that awareness to be able to get in there and grab that football before you get into the end zone. That's pinning Houston at the 1-yard line. So now Deshaun Watson in the I formation at the 1-yard line. He's going to hand this one off to the fullback, and he gets about 4 or 5 yards. That is Anthony Sherman. Demario Davis coming up and making the tackle there. And now once again another handoff. This time it is going to be Duke Johnson. He's going to get out to about the 11-yard line, 10.5. So it's 3rd and inches now. They have a little bit of space. I'm curious to see if they go ahead, and they do throw it this time over to the left-hand side, and getting his hands in there is the defender. I believe that might have been Marshawn Lattimore getting his hands in there. And just like that, that's going to be a punt from Houston. I mean, they could go for it here, but it would be very dangerous. As you see there, just a good defense there, you know, coming up and contesting that catch. So yes, it is going to be a punt here from Houston, as Toronto, what a booming punt too, getting it at the 20-yard line, getting it and returning it out past the 40 though, to the 41. And all of a sudden, Toronto has another opportunity here. They need to figure out something, as Aaron Jones has been playing really well today. As you see here, he's got 80 yards on the day, and he's probably going to be heading towards a 100-yard performance. So now Toronto's got 3 receivers to the left-hand side here. but in I formation. They're going to fake the quick throw and instead go to Aaron Jones in the backfield, and he has nowhere to go as he gets tackled in the backfield by J.J. Watt. And that might be the final play of this third quarter. We'll see if they try and squeak one more in. Now it looks like they're going to try and get another play in here. And under center is Trevor Nickerson. He's going to take this, drop back, and throw over to the right-hand side, and finding a man down the sideline there, and that's going to be with zeros on the clock to end the third quarter. So all of a sudden, Houston actually has the lead 10-9 going into the fourth quarter, but it is Toronto who is driving right now at the 37-yard line coming out of the third quarter and starting this fourth. And Nickerson's going to drop back and throw deep over the middle, and that is going to be caught for a touchdown. Touchdown, Toronto, 37 yards to Jonnu Smith, who just goes up and gets it. Good play there as the defender looks like he lost the football in the air. And just a really nice play there by Trevor Nickerson to give his man an opportunity. And Jonnu Smith, he's trying to play himself into another contract here with the Huskies. And they're going to go for two, actually, as it is going to be a throw here. And moving around in the pocket, that is Trevor Nickerson with nowhere to go with the football. And he gets sacked. He tried to extend that as much as he could. He should have probably just ran for it, to be honest. But as you see there really wasn't much for him to do. Nickerson moving around like a crazy person, but goes down though, so that means the score is 15-10 Toronto. And that is actually the first touchdown scored by an offense in this football game. So now Houston's going to have their opportunity to do the same. They're going to start it off though at the 22-yard line. And Deshaun Watson and company are coming out. They're feeling good. They have they had the lead, but no thanks to this offense. So now in the gun is Deshaun Watson, and he's going to drop back and throw this thing over the middle and finding his man. Nice little touch pass there, getting out to the 44-yard line. I believe that is Vance McDonald, the tight end. That's a 22-yard reception. And that's going to start this Houston run quite nicely. And all of a sudden, they've got some pretty good momentum as I believe that is Jalen Thompson coming up to make the tackle. So now it is 15-10 and a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. A quick throw over there out to the outside, and good play by Marshawn Lattimore to just never give up on the play, as the receiver had it in his hands, but he punched it out. Good play there on the outside. And this time, Deshaun Watson over the middle with a dump-off option, getting out to the 49-yard line. It's going to set up a 3rd and 4 now, 3rd and manageable at the 49. And Deshaun Watson's got himself in the gun. He's going to drop off over to that right-hand side, wide open receiver. And I believe that is Yates with another reception, this time for a 1st down. And it is 5 for 97. That's what he's sitting at right now. No score, but I'm sure that he's going to be trying to get him the football once they get into the red zone. Such a big target like that, I imagine he's going to be a good red zone threat. All right, so now it's 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. An empty backfield here for Houston, and Watson's going to drop back, throwing deep on the left-hand side, and that is almost caught, but Will Fuller gets hit while he's trying to make that play. Good play by the defender not to give up on that. So now Deshaun Watson again dropping back, this time looking to the left-hand side. That is intercepted, and that is big play Slay. running down the sideline, getting it all the way into the 26-yard line, and this defense just keeps making plays. It doesn't matter if it's the defensive front, the linebackers, the secondary, they're all working as a cohesive unit here. And a nice play there as he actually shreds off a tackler, would-be tackler there in Duke Johnson, and just runs down the sideline, and it is actually Deshaun Watson who eventually catches up to him. But as you see, big play Slay still able to make big plays. He's not too old. And all of a sudden, Nickerson now with a touchdown on his stat line, starting to look a little bit better, has an opportunity to extend this Toronto lead. They're already in field goal range. And they're going to start this thing off in the I formation, and it is going to be a handoff to Aaron Jones, who breaks a tackle and tries to bounce it outside, but actually loses a yard on that. That is Benardrick McKinney with the tackle, and now all of a sudden, this Toronto team is starting to lose a little bit of that momentum they just snapped from Houston. So now it is 2nd and 11 at the 27-yard line. And in the gun is Trevor Nickerson. And he's going to hand it off, though, to Aaron Jones, who has nowhere to go, as that's going to be another loss, as that's about a 2-yard loss this time, as Antoine Winfield Jr. coming up and making the play from his safety spot. So now it's going to be 3rd and 13, and the ball is most likely going to be in Trevor Nickerson's hand here. It's going to be up to him as to whether they get 3 or 7 out of this drive. So Nickerson, a low snap here, and they actually hand it off. And once again, getting tackled in the backfield. That is Aaron Jones with a 3-yard loss on that play. So I don't know if they're just trying to run some clock out or what they're doing here, but they are most likely going to be kicking a field goal here. It's going to be about a 49-yard field goal, I imagine. And Josh Lambo and company with 7.5 to go. They come out onto this football field and go ahead and get this ball off, and it is going to be good, making Toronto an 18-10 lead right now. So 18-10, it's not quite a 2-score lead, but Houston's definitely going to have their work cut out for them if they're going to take this lead back. And all of a sudden, this is going to be a touchback here from Houston, and Deshaun Watson is struggling today. Quite mightily, actually. 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, under 200 yards through the air. And inside 7.5 to go. As Deshaun Watson, he's going to drop back here on 1st down and move around in the pocket, and he's under pressure, and he is sacked. And this time, I believe that was picked up by Duke Johnson, actually. And Adarius Evans again making another play there. I believe that was Adarius Evans. Yes, that is Adarius Evans forcing the fumble again. Talk about a playmaker. And that is Deshaun Watson's 2nd fumble on the day, 3rd fumble for this Houston team. So now it's 2nd and 10, and Watson drops back. A little bit of pressure here, and that one, nice play there. Get those hands up, and that's exactly what that defender there, I believe that might have been Ryan Kerrigan, or I'm not sure. But they were able to deflect that ball, making it 3rd and 10, and going deep over the middle here, and overthrowing his target is Deshaun Watson, and he's dejected out there. He's not sure what is going on, but he is not playing very well. As you see there, he tries for that deep shot like I was talking about to Will Fuller, but unfortunately he overthrows him. As you see, this Houston defense is getting a little fed up with this. So now Houston is going to be punting the football away again. And this is going to be returned out to about the 20. Not much room there for that return. So now Toronto has another opportunity to make this a 2-score game. But they're going to have some work cut out for themselves if they want to do that. Starting it off at the 20-yard line. It's now under center, and a quick handoff here up the middle. Getting about 1 is Aaron Jones as he's falling forward there. Under center again here on 2nd and 9 with about 6 minutes to go in this game. And they're going to go ahead and hand it off to Aaron Jones again, and this time breaking a tackle, making people miss as he gets out to the 25, all that for only 4 yards. So now it is 3rd and 5. And this is going to be Trevor Nickerson dropping back. Quick throw, though, out of the backfield. That is Aaron Jones, who makes the reception but is unable to go anywhere with it. And just like that, I think Houston is forced a 3 and out. And I think that is Justin Reed coming up and making the tackle on that 3rd down attempt. So now it is 4th and 5 with about 5 minutes to go. And this is the booming punt once again. And this time, though, no heroics, and as it goes into the end zone. So under 5 minutes to go, Deshaun Watson and company comes back out on the football field. And they're going to have to figure out some way to get some points on the scoreboard right now. So now starting it off in the gun, 1st and 10 at the 20. Watson drops back. He looks over to the right-hand side, finds a receiver. That is Vance McDonald, the tight end, with the reception, getting up to the 38. That's a gain of about 18 yards. So it's setting up another 1st down here at the 38-yard line, and the clock is running, getting close to about 4.5 minutes to go. All right, under 4.5 to go now for Deshaun Watson and company. And he drops back and he looks over there to the right-hand side again. This time, though, incomplete as it goes in and out of Yates' hands, the intended receiver there. So now it is 2nd and 10 at the 38. Watson drops back. He looks over the middle, dumps it off. That is going to be Duke Johnson with the reception, and he gets about 6 yards there, making it a 3rd and manageable at 3rd and 4 from the 44. But with only about 4 minutes to go in this game, they're going to have to pick up the pace if they're intending to win this football game in regulation. So now empty backfield this time for Watson. He's got a couple of receivers on each side here as he drops back and throws again, and look at that. That was very dangerous, as I believe that was Marshawn Lattimore coming up there and getting a hand on that ball. I think that was actually intended. I'm not sure if that was Duke Johnson. I think it might have been intended for Duke Johnson, though. But look at that, as Marshawn Lattimore, he's upset with himself. He felt like he should have had an interception there. But hey, we will take the pass deflection. Setting up a 4th and 4 here. And they're electing to punt the football away. Now, Houston does have 3 timeouts. I think that they're going ahead and banking on Toronto not being able to move the football. And that one just slides into the end zone, making this a touchback. So 1st and 10 at the 20 here for Nickerson, as he's talking to his number 1 receiver, CeeDee Lamb, here as they come out onto the football field. And it makes you wonder if maybe they're going to not just hand the football off every time. But it looks like they might be here on 1st and 10 as they're under center here. And he hands it off and fakes the handoff, though, and instead throws it to Aaron Jones out of the backfield, but has nowhere to go. So good clock wasting moment there, though. Getting it inside 3 minutes now as Nickerson drops back, and he is under pressure. That is J.J. Watt with his 3rd sack on the day. It is 3rd and 16 now, and all of a sudden, that bet that Houston made that Toronto is not going to be able to move the football doesn't look so silly after all. So now 3rd and 16, inside 2.5 to go here. As Nickerson drops back, has all the time in the world, and he elects to do a quick little dump off here to Aaron Jones, getting about maybe a yard on that play. So now that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning here. And Toronto's going to have the lead 18-10 at the 2-minute warning. Now the question is, will the defense be able to step up one more time and force another stop? Because at this point it's 4-down territory for Houston. And Matt Hawk is going to get this ball punt it from about the 5-yard line. And a booming punt here, but it goes out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. So now empty backfield here for Deshaun Watson as he drops back, looks over the middle here, and overthrows his intended target. So now it is going to be 2nd and 10 at the 33-yard line, 1:52 to go on the clock, and he's going to drop back and throw over that left-hand side, and that is tipped up and intercepted by the defense, as that is Richie Branch with the interception. Nice awareness there to realize that that ball got tipped up and find it in the air, and that was Deshaun Watson trying to just make a play downfield there, as it was essentially a one-on-one at the point of attack. However, once the football got bounced up, all of a sudden about 3 other defenders were getting over there, and Richie Branch was the one to intercept that. And I believe, now it's not completely over, but that should definitely put a good ice on this game. Now obviously Houston does have 3 timeouts though, so it's not over completely, as Aaron Jones gets stood up by J.J. Watt at the line of attack here. So now it is going to be a 2nd and 10. With 1:42 to go as they take their first timeout. And what an odd play there, I don't know if the timing was off or what, but that was dangerous, as that got a little jumbled up there and they lost 3 yards. And another timeout by Houston. It's now under center again, 3rd and 13, man in motion, but instead elects to hand it off to Aaron Jones, who has nowhere to go, losing a couple more yards. So now it is 4th and 14, and they are going to have one more opportunity, Houston is. But they had no timeouts, no way to stop the clock outside of an incompletion. And this is a booming punt again from Matt Hack, and that was going to go through the end zone and set Houston up for a 1st and 10 at the 20. They need to go 80 yards to even consider tying this football game up. With no timeouts and only 1:26 on the clock, the Texans have their work cut out for them, as Deshaun Watson is in the gun here. And it's a low snap, and they elect to hand this one off, and actually gets only about 3 yards there. So now they're going to push things along, and no huddle here. Quick throw over the middle, and that is actually incomplete. It looked like it was completed, but then the receiver dropped it. So now it is 3rd and 7 at the 23-yard line, 1:03 to go. As Watson drops back, he throws over that right-hand side, and that is going to be complete again, this time to Vance McDonald. And again, going no huddle, quick throw out to the outside, completes it for about 4 yards, but the important thing is they got out of bounds. So now it is going to be 38 seconds to go, 2nd and 5 at the 49-yard line. Watson drops back and throws this time over to the left-hand side, and they do tackle him in bounds, though, so they're going to have to push this thing along. 20 seconds and counting to go on the clock as Watson drops back again. All the time in the world, and this time he gets sacked, and that is Floyd Ellis, the star of this defensive line, coming through and sealing this game, as Houston's not going to be able to get back up for another play, and that means, like I called it, a Toronto Huskies win. Now, this is live, so I had no idea how this is going to play out, but that's right, your Toronto Huskies have come out on top. 18-10 final, and an incredible performance here by your Toronto Huskies defense. And let's just take a look at these stats, because now offensively Nickerson wasn't great, but he did play pretty well in terms of completing the football. He had a 78% completion percentage. He just had those 3 turnovers. And then we were able to run the football pretty well with Aaron Jones. Not great average, but overall I felt like he ran the football quite well today. And Jamison Yates, the rookie receiver from last season, so second-year player now, and he just ate us up today. Vance McDonald also. He's always been a problem, though. Every time we face the Texans, Vance McDonald has been a problem. And for the most part, he was held fairly in check today until the very end. And a pretty good day for Jonnu Smith as well. And then in terms of blocking, really, we had a couple of sacks let up here and there. Lorenzo Betts, the second-year player, kind of got beat up by J.J. Watt a little bit. And then in terms of sacks, we had Floyd Ellis get that one, and then we had one from Adarius Evans, and that was about it today. But the important thing is these interceptions and forced fumbles. Richie Branch with an interception, Lano Hill with an interception, Big Play Slay with an interception, and then the forced fumbles. Adarius Evans with 3 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, and a sack, as well as 2 tackles for loss today. He was all over this Houston team and almost single-handedly won us this football game. Very impressive stuff from Adarius Evans, as I was just calling him out, actually. So it's nice to see this defense step up, and well, they've been stepping up for most of the season, but especially step up in this game, and we finally get our revenge on the Houston Texans, as we got some upgrades coming out of that game. Quincy Williams, first ever superstar, gets an upgrade. We're going to continue to just upgrade that run stopping ability. I like what he does in the run. And then we have Keontae Bonds getting an upgrade here, getting up to a 77 overall. Logan Wilson also has an upgrade here as an outside linebacker. This is tough because I feel like he is very well-rounded, and I think I'm going to actually stick with the scheme fit here with the power rusher, though. And then we have Matt Hack also getting an upgrade, the punter, up to a 76 overall. And then Trent Sherfield, who we haven't seen much of really since last season. He played really well last year, but he's starting to just kind of get lost in the depth of receivers that we have. And let's see if we got the breakout player. I forgot, Jonnu Smith was up for breakout player, and unfortunately he was not able to get it. He did still have a good game, scoring a touchdown, but he wasn't able to get 100, and I believe it was 150 yards is what he needed. So let's go ahead and advance this thing, and all of a sudden we're in week 6, and your Toronto Huskies are 1-4. And as you see here, we are starting to get back into things. Obviously, we are nowhere near the top of the standings, but that win against Houston is going to help us move up in the standings here if we continue to win. And the biggest thing is just, now that we've got the first one, can we rattle a couple of them off? That's going to be the real deciding factor here. And so up next, we have the New England Patriots, who are sitting at 4-1 right now. So that's going to be a very tough feat for us to beat them. And we're traveling to New England as well. So going to Foxborough to face, I believe, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. So that's going to be a tough one. He doesn't usually lose at home very often. So that's going to be one that our defense is going to really need to step up for. As if they didn't step up enough today. But let's also take a look at a couple of things here. Let's go ahead and do these upgrades before we get out of here. We got Jaquil Easter with an upgrade here, as he is now the starting strong safety, filling in for Rashad Jones from last season, and Trevor Nickerson, who, yes, he was only a 70 overall, but he has another upgrade here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and continue to upgrade his improviser. Get him up to a 71 overall now. And he gets some good attributes here. Throw power, throw on the run, some short accuracy. I like that. It's going to provide a little bit more ability for him to get the football down the field. And as you see, he's not slow by any means. He's got 80 speed. So Trevor Nickerson, if he ever needed to run, he will be able to do so. Now, he does only have normal development, but I'm hoping we can get that, boosted up here if he can start playing a little bit better down the stretch. Now, I believe that is going to round out this episode. If you want to know who that breakout player is, you will have to tune in next time, as we'll be playing the New England Patriots in week number 6. And after our first win of the season against the Houston Texans, let's see if we can start rattling them off and get a win streak going. But until then, my name is pt.2. I thank you guys for watching and being very patient with me with all the technical difficulties over the last couple of days. So thank you guys, and more than that, have a great rest of your day.